Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and we're going to have a quick look at my Starfruit tree today, which I've got out the kitchen just to see what sort of state it's in. Now, I've got a fair bit of mottling on the leaves, as you can see. Looks like a spider mite infestation, nothing unusual. These are really prone to attacks by spider mites, and they do weaken the plant an awful lot. I also think it's probably suffering from lack of food in the pot as well, because it's one of these horrible tall tree pots that often the Spanish and Dutch growers seem to favour. I think that's because they're space efficient, not necessarily because it encourages long tap roots. A lot of not all tropicals have long tap roots. So what I'm going to look at doing is repotting it and then giving it a good spray for the spider mites, which I'll just use soapy water for. As you can see, this is a grafted tree, but in common with all the plants that come, or nearly all the plants that come from Victoriana Nursery, there's no mention of a variety name on it. It just says Starfruit or carambola. So obviously if it's a grafted plant, then surely it would be a recognised variety, and you think someone could take the trouble to put the variety name on it. Now, one of the problems I have with these tall tree pots, and I killed my last carambola by getting it wrong, was because of the depth of the pot, I put it into a container that was way too large, which subsequently led to it getting root rot and dying on me. So the problem you normally have with these tall pots is basically 2 into 1 doesn't go. This is the size pot that I'd like to put it into, but as you can see, it's the tree pot is considerably taller than the standard shape or size of pots. And what I'm going to have a go at doing, I'm going to take this out of here and see if I can spread the roots out in such a way that I can fit them in there. I'm going to use a nice open free draining compost that I've been using recently for my tropicals, and I'm going to see if I can get the roots spread out. I might even have to give them a slight root prune if necessary. I don't think it'll be a problem on Starfruits, just to make sure that they fit in that pot nicely, and it may encourage more root vigour in any case. So I'm going to stop filming and flip the camera around and have a look and see what we can do. I'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to part 2 of the video. I'm going to see now if we can manage to get this Starfruit in this ridiculous tall pot into this pot here. So the thing I've got to do basically is just take it out the pot. Now these don't always like to come out because the pots are so damn long. Let's see. Right, okay. Now, it's not got the best root system in the world. I don't think these tall pots always suit everything, but the one advantage of that is I should be able to loosen it up enough to get it into, I should better get the sides loose, which will allow me to spread the roots into this shorter pot that I want to use. Yeah, not got the most impressive root system I've ever seen in the world, this particular Starfruit. I'm not sure these pots are always as good as they think they are, because I think they tend to cause a bit of a problem with the soil not drying out evenly. You water them and the water tends to travel to the bottom and then sit in the bottom or middle of the pot. So I'm actually going to try and take most of, glad to see it had lots of perlite in this, I'm going to try and take most of the old soil off. It's going to be a bit of a shock to the plant, but I think it's the only realistic way that I'm going to get it into this pot. And I'd like to get all fresh soil into the middle, because it's going to be, I don't want any root rot problems if possible. Well, it wasn't waterlogged or soggy in the middle. As you can see, I've really taken the roots down on it a lot. So do is check the height of it in the pot. Amazingly, even now the roots are on the top of the pot. That's incredible. Yeah, see, it's got a bit of a, they seem to have a bit of a taproot, these starfruits, and I certainly don't want to chop that off. So what I'm going to have to do is adapt it to this pot and see what happens. Just means it might have to be a little bit higher at the top of the pot. That's one of those things. Can't do much about that. The roots are going to come out the top, but I just have to accept that it is what it is. Just hope it's going to take to this nice open soil. If they'd use standard pots for it, it's okay if you're going to plant it in the ground somewhere, but if you're going to do what I'm going to do and grow it in containers, they'd be better off planting them in regular pots at the nursery, so that you can, the roots when they grow from the seedlings will adapt to shorter, wider pots, which is what I'd like it to be doing. It won't need watering as much, of course, now, because it's in a nice wide pot and it'll hold lots of moisture. So I'll show you what I've done. I've got it at that height in the pot. There's a little bit of, you can see a little bit of root growth here above the pot, but there's nothing I can do short of pruning the roots, and I don't want to prune the roots on a tropical fruit tree because it has enough trouble adapting them as it is. So we'll give that a good shake. Now that will be alright in that pot for, well, for a starfruit that'll probably be alright in that pot for 3 or 4 years. I don't think there's any reason it's going to have to be repotted again. That's if I can keep it alive, because I killed the last one. But I'm going to give it a watering in a minute with some sea salt and tepid water, and then I'm going to give it a good spray with some soapy water and see if I can get most of these spider mites off, because they're not going to be conducive to the health of the plants. Anyway, thanks for watching that short video on my starfruit update and trying to get it into a normal size pot. Much appreciate you watching. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Please remember to share it with anyone you think's interested. Subscribe to my channel, of course, and if you do hit the bell, you should get notified about new videos as they come out during the course of the summer. So I'll catch up with you all in the next video. Brett out for now.